Well, do we start playing Dungeons and Dragons now?
The thick, tall trees. The thick, tall trees give way to spindly, gnarled brambles, and the packed dirt and loam of the forest fade into muddy swamps as you follow the path. Deep within Dark Star's desecration, you embark. That was stupid. The sounds of wildlife die off, and all is quiet save an occasional clacking rustle and the ripples of water lapping at rotting tree trunks.
Sharpie.
Yes, Quark?
How are you? It's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's been a minute.
Socially.
A couple of minutes, it seems like weeks since I knew what the hell was going on.
Yeah. Well, when you're walking as this described, time can fly.
Right. So, what is? Refresh my memory on Admiral Darkstar.
Admiral Darkstar is and my voice trails off as your Spencer's VO comes in.
The corrupting influence of Admiral Darkstar and his dark cult have wrought in terrible destruction on the forest, transforming it into the Forest of Shadows. You hope to assault his ziggurat in hopes of dethroning him and ending his dark.
Sharpie, I know what a ziggurat is, but just for everybody else that doesn't know what a ziggurat. Just refresh.
A ziggurat is a pyramidal temple used for the worship of ancient cultures.
Thanks, Sharpie.
Yeah. No problem.
All right, I examine my surroundings, Spencer.
You see a wooden sign hanging from a blackened husk of a tree, standing in the middle of the muddy path. It is adorned with a black skull and a black star. Under the sign, you see a pile of corpses. But wait.
We see the sign first before the corpses?
You love signs, not too bothered about
I saw the sign, and it opened up my mind. I saw the sign. Full circle.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Adam Goldbright's freaking out right now because so many dots are being connected.
A stirring comes within the corpses.
Don't bully him, Dan.
It may be a survivor. He extricates himself from the pile of corpses and stands. He's wearing plate armor and holding the golden seal of Pelor.
Speak, survivor!
That's you.
That's me.
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, I'm Marcus Goldberg. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Goldbright. I'm a Jew.
A magical Jew.
I'm a human Jew. Please help me. I mean, don't help me with being Jewish. I mean, I'm laying in a pile of corpses. Help me.
Do you want us to sit shiv? It's a Jewish reference.
Oh, it's Morris, not Marcus. Morris Goldbright. Morris Goldbright.
Surely, new friend. I lift him with my great strength. And I hug him as I'm lifting him.
You hug him successfully. How do you feel about that?
What's with your overzealous friend here, fellas?
You're asking me? Have you seen Admiral Darkstar or any of his minions?
Yeah, they're the ones that caused all this bullshit that I'm laying here in.
How is it, my friend Morris Goldbright?
Yep.
How is it?
Yes.
How is it that you are the lone survivor of this travesty?
I'm a coward, and I hid beneath the bodies for safety. I took my best friend and laid his corpse over me. Who's laughing now? The sole survivor.
Well, it was cowardly of you to do that, but so brave to tell us.
Surely you would like to join us in avenging the death of your friends.
I'll stand behind you, of course. Yes, I would like to help avenge.
We're going to get so many letters from synagogues. Mr. Harmon, could your cowardly Jewish character have participated a little? Whatever.
Maybe he redeems himself.
Yeah, well, we don't know. I'm just keeping my eye on that as a potential special interest group disaster. But you know, there should have been no black people in this adventure. So,
by the way,
that's your own perception. I never mentioned race. If you read into that, that's not me.
Why? That's the weirdest applause ever.
Dungeon snap.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
My character is male, and I've always thought of him as black.
All right. Well, that's.
It sounds like a bit. It's not a bit.
This stuff wouldn't come to light if I didn't bring it up, but then I get crucified. That's the story of my life.
By the way,
hero.
I thought this said level 2 hymen. But it doesn't.
It's so much less breakable than a level 1 hymen.
I have a level 2 hymen. True story. I still have my hymen. Did you know that?
Yeah, no, its armor class is it's impenetrable.
Like a weird,
my Vorpal dick can't even get through it. Whatever.
Stick is a button. That's not. I was yes-anding in a way that wasn't an insult. I'm kidding. It's like a horse was a log, and then that log was blessed by God. That's Dan Stick. I'm sorry.
I examined the paths around us.
Past the blackened tree, you see a massive construction of sticks, mud, and bones, with a gated graveyard to the south. This is Darkstar's ziggurat. Past the wrought iron fence of the graveyard, you see figures cloaked in black, digging with shovels and hauling corpses. You see an ornate wooden door entering into the ziggurat. Past the north wall, you see the glow of perhaps a fire.
Ziggurat? We're out of their vision cones.
Yeah, you're like peering behind this tree. You're pretty far off. They haven't noticed you.
All right.
They're inside a fenced area.
I know this isn't in my nature, but I'm recommending we hide.
You always recommend that.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
I second that. I know where there's a pile of corpses we can hide under, you guys.
Morris Goldbright. Dress yourself in corpses and move slowly closer to it so they won't know what it is. Go hide yourself in a pile of corpses and examine the gate.
All right.
What?
It's like,
Yes, and
it's like when you dress like a bush and you slowly move closer to something.
Right, but you want him to be.
and it's a cemetery, so naturally it would be a dead body.
It's a pile of bodies. They won't think anything about it.
But the dead bodies will be moving.
But only when they're not looking.
Yeah.
Does he have super strength? He's going to lift up.
Why don't you do this?
Okay. I clad myself with all of its corpses and slowly, in a red light, green light fashion, move camouflage towards the gate of the cemetery.
I don't understand.
I want to get a closer look.
You hide yourself into the pile of bodies and manage to shift it ever slowly towards the gate of the cemetery.
Sweet.
Approaching the front gate, you notice that no one has taken notice of you.
See? Guys, get over here.
I grab some bodies and I put them on my body. And I do the same. Except I do it cooler.
You manage to put one body on top of your own and rush
black,
over
I'm so
towards...
strong.
I say this is one of those situations like in a movie where, like if we can take one of these guys out, we take their robes.
Am I close enough to see these dark figures in robes?
You can see them. They seem unusually pale and thin.
Can you...
Are you...
Shut up.
Dan, don't you have to detect evil or detect magic or some kind of thing like that?
Yeah, but we know they're evil and magic.
That's metagaming. You don't know that.
They could just be in a goth band.
An alternative lifestyle.
I'm trying to look for like a charm spell or something.
I apropos of nothing, give Quark a present.
What present?
It's a bow that is shaped like his face. I took tea and I stained fabric with
Quark
a
falls
shadow.
asleep.
All right,
You
look.
don't have any fabric. I'm sorry.
These
You can get some at the store later.
Okay.
what are these guys doing? They're digging, or
They're digging and hauling corpses into the ziggurat.
are there any of them that are away from the larger amount of them that are vulnerable to some kind of like a little ambush, a little subterfuge, a little hoke and poke?
You see one about 5 foot off of a hole in the fence. You might be able to dash over there and take him out before anyone notices.
I'm gonna try to cast sleep. Is the sleep spell? Is that a ranged thing? Can I cast sleep on somebody?
Yeah, you can get up close to him and cast him.
I'm gonna try to put this guy to sleep.
Nice.
Thanks, guys.
All right. He does not successfully save, making him fall asleep. He falls asleep.
That was a real roller coaster ride.
Because I'm so great
You
at
do not
speech.
have no AIDS.
I examine his body. Is there anything left or his clothing in his body? I examine that.
You see a rotting belt. It doesn't seem very stylish.
Quirk throws up till he dies.
You wish.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
All right. Well, I got the robe on. I'm in disguise.
Go infiltrate, Sharpie.
I'm gonna infiltrate. I'll watch the behavior of my cohorts. Cohorts in quotes.
You notice a marked difference between two types of cohorts. One moves stiffly, slowly, unnoticing of others. The other seem pretty normal, hauling corpses into the ziggurat and looking about like regular people.
We got some Walking Dead shit going on here.
Yeah?
I say to myself.
Not knowing what Walking Dead
I
shit
emulate the movements of the stiff ones.
You successfully emulate the movements. You walk among the walkers.
I'm gonna get.
Looking good, Sharpie. Sorry, I mean.
Sharpie.
I'm gonna get up to that ziggurat. And word.
You approach the door of the ziggurat. It is open.
All right. I open the door to the ziggurat.
It's already open. You peer inside the ziggurat and see a large stone entry hall. Several coat racks stand in the hall.
I know that's a trick. I'm supposed to hang up the robe, but that's my disguise.
Holding several black cloaks.
Ooh.
I'm going to grab a couple of them.
Yeah, bring them to us.
Yeah, grab 3.
Let's say 3.
There is a cultist in the room watching. Do you try to do this sneakily, or do you just like do it while looking directly at him?
He's really eyeballing me.
He hasn't taken much notice of you, but perhaps if you took a few cloaks, he might. You think to yourself.
Sharpie, bring Morris Goldbright in and tell him that he's here to pick up the dry cleaning.
Tell me. I'm going to try to cast Charm Person on him.
Okay. You cast Charm Person. He regards you with high interest, as if you were a trusted friend or ally. How are you doing? How can I help you?
Need cloaks.
Well, there's tons of cloaks. You should grab several.
Just 3 is fine.
Are you thirsty?
Huh?
Would you like a drink?
Yeah, I guess.
He procures 3 cloaks and a drink and puts them in a bag for you.
Thank you. How's Tracy?
It's like, I'm so glad you remembered. This is why we're close friends. She's doing well, as am I.
All right, well, same shit, different day.
You know that Admiral Darkstar always creating undead and taking power naps.
Catch you on the flip-flop.
Have a good time.
I stiffly exit the ziggurat and go back to my real compatriots, not in quotes.
You managed to do this while escaping notice.
Who's impressed now?
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
Nice to see you be brave.
Well, you know.
What took you so long?
Morris Goldbright's silences are really acting up. It's cold out here, you know.
Morris, can you stop eating my bagels?
I'm an indoor person.
I teach these guys how to walk stiffly in a hilarious Shaun of the Dead montage.
You think you managed to communicate the proper manner in which to walk.
And that's how you do it.
Where should we go now?
Into the ziggurat.
We enter the ziggurat.
Donning the cloaks that Sharpie has brought and adopting the mannerisms of the dead, you manage to waltz right in past all the undead and guards.
You're going to see a guy in the entryway. It's cool. He's with me.
I examine the ziggurat.
It's the outside or the inside?
Inside.
You are in the entry hall. Blue candles line the walls and sconces. There are 3 doors, one on each wall of the squared room. Oh, and the door you came in. 4 doors. Sorry, guys. Triangles are square.
Wait, what?
There's three other doors.
We came in one. There are 3 other doors against the wall.
All right. Eeny, meeny.
I approach the door on the far left.
You approach the door on the far left.
I watch her approach the door on the far left.
You witness the approaching of the door.
I examine his witness.
The examination of the witness
I write
successfully.
down a journal entry about what it was like to approach the door.
The journal entry is enthralling.
I tremble.
The tremble is pitiable.
I try to open the door.
Do you want to listen at the door, perhaps?
Oh,
No, Mulring, just go.
Couple little tool
You
tips
open
still
the
coming
door
up.
wearing the cloak.
I listen. I listen. Thank you.
You listen to the sounds of people murmuring and sitting. You hear their seats.
I hear people sitting.
You hear, using your half-elf ears, you hear the sitting of the people in the room.
Just so I know for reference, Spencer, what does sitting sound like? If you could just do it with your mouth.
Yeah, hold on. Let me...
All right.
I was holding the mic near my butt for the Podlaskers.
Everyone, people are talking in there quietly and sitting.
Oh, I vote for that. I'm so tired. I'd love a seat.
You know what, Morris? I still feel like something's going to really pay off. I think you're going to save the day somehow.
He better. I'm telling you, we're going to get sued. Oh, that's another stereotype, isn't it? I'm just making it worse. We're going to get Molotov cocktailed.
I examine the door in the middle.
You hear the sounds of dull scraping as if something is being dragged across a stone floor.
I don't like that shit.
Don't open.
Well, what are we hoping to hear? Happy birthday? We're looking for the door.
I listen to the 3rd door on the right.
You hear silence.
Well,
right.
that's a start. I open the 3rd door.
The silent one?
Yeah.
Okay. The walls are draped in black wall hangings, and rows of pews made of red stained wood sit empty, facing an obsidian podium. Doubtless the cultists listen to many a mad raving or dazzling lecture in this room. A large golden statue stands well behind the podium.
Booyah.
It's a human in plate mail wielding a black sword, but the statue is missing its head. You don't know what statement the sculptor was trying to make.
Morris, you're a bit of an art critic, an art fan. What does this speak to you at all, the statue?
Well, I'm a human. I recognize it's one of my kind. I don't like the fact that he's missing a head.
Thank you.
I walk to the statue and examine it.
It is a large, 9-foot tall statue. You can't see on top of its head
9
because
feet
it
tall?
doesn't have one. Yeah, 9
Hey,
feet tall.
Quark, crawl up there. See if there's like a button where its head should be. Or
I crawl on Sharpie's shoulders to examine the top of the statue.
You can see like a setting as if something is supposed to fit in there.
Zip.
Like a dick, right?
Gentlemen,
There's a door on the other side of the room.
I examine the door.
It is made of wood. You do not approve of its design.
Fellas, Nope.
Yeah, it's like that shitty belt I saw earlier. I examined the fitting.
Tackiest ziggurat ever.
What does the fitting look like in the head?
It looks circular with a square peg.
Circular with a square
peg. Wait, is it a button or it has a square peg in it?
It's a circular divot with a square peg protruding.
Guys, all we got to do is find a head with a peg sticking out of the neck.
Thanks, Morris. Thank you.
Oh yes, we have to affix the head like a Lego piece and get that. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
We got to go find that head.
It's got to be on the other side of this wooden door that you hate.
Guys, I hate this door, but can we go through it?
Well, let's listen at it. Don't forget what we've learned about doors.
Right. We listen at the door behind the statue.
Standing at the door, you can't help but shake the perceptible smell of foul, rotting decay. You hear the same scraping sounds as if something is being dragged across a stone floor.
Spencer, this is getting really scary.
That adjoins to that middle room with the scraping and the dragging.
Spencer, do I have any arrows?
You should have 12 arrows left.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to open the door because I have these arrows.
All right, guys, I'm going to open the door. You ready your arrows?
Okay, I ready my arrows.
And then when I open the door, I'll just kind of in one movement.
I'll ready my spear. By the way, I have a spear.
There you go.
And then you get ready to charge in there when you're in a berserker rage.
I'm ready to go.
I'm going to open the door, and in one movement, I'll be kind of behind it just because someone's got to open the door.
A wave of noxious stench blasts through the door frame. You see an assortment of bones. It looks like a snake, but is made out of the fused rib cages of what appears to be at least 40 men. The head of the snake is not a snake head, but instead a golden skull of a human.
We need that shit.
Yep.
Its eyes are set with emeralds, and around its neck hangs a golden chain with an emerald setting.
Is the snake alive? Is it moving?
It is moving about the floor, creating a loud, grating sound.
I attack the snake with my sword.
Drawing your sword and lunging at the snake, you strike at its back.
Oh no!
Everything's ruined. You strike the back of the snake. Your sword rings against its bone thing. You strike a crack. It takes 11 damage.
Is that good?
That's pretty good.
All right.
I shoot an arrow at the...
It's like a golf tournament. Jeff Davis has swung at the human centipede monster. 11 points.
What did he take that? Like a 7 sword? Or what was that, an 8?
Wait, what's that?
What sword do you think he used on that one?
I get out from behind the door so I can get into this melee with some of my trademark spells like Ray of Frost, Magic Missile, and the like.
You head into the door as Mulrain is knocking an arrow. She looses it. It flies past your head, directly at the snake.
Sorry.
You hit the snake critically. It is a critical hit.
but a ratings disaster.
That was like Dane Cook's arrow.
Your arrow lodges in the neck of the snake. It hits for 14 damage. The snake falls apart into bone pieces.
Whoa!
The golden skull bounces to your feet.
Holy
I look to
jamoli.
Quark for a nod of respect.
You know what, kid? You're all right.
All right. This is great.
Hey, Morris, you like gold? Go grab that head.
I inspect the head with my loop.
It's terrible. Terrible.
It's easily worth at least 50 platinum pieces.
Let's take it, guys. Into the other room and put it on top of the statue.
I take the head, jump up on Sharpie's shoulders, and place the head on top of the statue.
You do that, but in the other room. You move to the other room and do that successfully. The head fits perfectly onto the shoulders of the statue. You hear a far-off grinding, and the statue slowly turns, revealing a staircase upwards.
Nice.
Good time to quit. Right?
Sure, you want to set up camp at the base of the staircase?
And just tell some stories. Yeah, we'll just pause it, and then we'll pick things up from there next week.
All
right?
right, we'll hit a pause. Spencer, everybody.
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah.